What's going on, guys? Let's talk about two things. So, there's two things. There are French words that I wanted to talk to you guys about, or French sayings. The premier est déjà vu, and the second, c'est l'appelle du void. L'appelle du void. What does that mean? Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Well, in French, and again, I've mentioned this before, that English was my fourth language. Concurrently, I learned English, French, Hebrew, and I was singing in Spanish too. I've lost the Spanish though. But qu'est-ce que c'est l'appel de vide et déjà vu? Well, déjà vu is when you, well, let's break down the words déjà vu. Déjà vu. Déjà means already, and vu means seen, already seen. That's what it basically comes out to. What is déjà vu? Déjà vu is when you get that experience that, like, this conversation has already happened, or you know where it's going, or you're in a familiar location, and that happens because there's an infinite amount of timelines that go on with you. There's an infinite amount of realities. And sometimes they're usually kept separate, but sometimes they get very close. And sometimes it lapses over. See, to understand timelines, guys, you have to understand this. It's Robert Frost's The Fork in the Road. If you make a decision that's going to take you on a new timeline, then another micro decision is going to break that apart, and then that apart, and that apart. And so every decision and everything that you do, no matter how big, no matter how small, is going to give you a new reality. You are co-creating your reality. Now, in some realities, you didn't go left, you went right. But sometimes, in realities, because there's infinite amount of them, you do both. Now, l'appel du vide, qu'est-ce que c'est ça? What does that mean, l'appel du vide? Well, it translates to the call of the void. The call of the void is a phenomenon that happens, for example, with perfectly normal people. These are spiritually healthy, these are happy people who maybe are waiting at a red light and you just want to blow it, or you're standing on a train tracks and you just had this overwhelming urge to just jump in front of the train. This happens to normal people all the time, and it's called l'appel du vide. Now, I'm not really sure where that comes from, to be honest with you, but a lot of people go through this stuff where you have just causes to just like run in front of traffic or just do something incredibly dangerous, and then you pull back and you don't do it. So these are the two French things that they've given us. L'appel du vide, which is the call of the void. That's like when, for example, you're just sitting there and you just have an overwhelming urge to just murder someone. And then your brain, you talk about it and you talk through it. And then you obviously don't do that. And then you have your déjà vu. Now, it's important with déjà vu too, because don't mistake it for the Mandela effect. Because the Mandela effect was named after Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela, the reason it was called the Mandela effect is because there were a lot of reports that he had died many years ago. But then he was released from prison, and people were like, I thought he died. I remember seeing all these newspapers about it. It's stuff like that, like the Berenstain Bears, things of that nature that seem similar to alternate realities. There's a kid physicist, or some people are even talking about this right now, that CERN, when you accelerate the particles to 99.9999% the speed of light, because remember, to get it to the speed of light, you need an infinite amount of energy. You cannot reach the speed of light accelerating to it. Its mass will become infinite. But you can get close, and that's what it does. And some people think that CERN shifted our reality when it started exploding particles together. So I just wanted to bring those two things up. I've got some things going on, so I might not have too many videos coming out in the near future, but someone did ask me to talk about Deja Vu, And I figured I'd throw in L'appelle du vide. So, thanks, guys.